Yo, what is going on, rivals? And today we are here yet again with another video in this video series of is Captain America any good? So yes, we're doing the Captain America video finally. This is the last video so far that I've recorded until they show off a brand new character and we get some more gameplay for that I'm going to be covering on this little video series that I got going. So yeah, let's go ahead here. Let's hop right on into, is Captain America as good? You know, as people say, or is he kind of trash, you know, in the actual game, and, you know, should you main him as well? So before we go ahead here and look at that, guys, we are going to look at his kit. So if you guys haven't seen this video series before, we are going to go ahead here and just take a small little second to look at his kit. I'll give you guys a timestamp in the description below when you guys can kind of skip between that, you know, from, hey, here's his kit, here's his normal stuff as well. So, you know, check the description if you guys don't want to see his kit. But let's go ahead here and just get a quick look at his kit. And yet again, shout outs to GG Lounge. I've looked at a few of his shorts in this little video series that I've been doing. And yeah, so this is going to be him, his shorts for the video. And yet again, I'm using Marvel Rival Guides Captain America gameplay. So yet again, big shout outs to him. And yet again, I'm using his gameplay for commentary purposes. So, you know, just for that. So I will be commentating over it and, you know, talking a little bit about it. But yeah, so I will leave a link to both of their videos down in the description below as well. So, hey, if you guys want to go see it, go check that out as well. But let's stop stalling and stop wasting time, and let's get right on into Captain America's moveset.
Captain America is a 2-star difficulty hero, and his main normal attack is Sentinel Strike. Get up close to strike enemies. Landing the second hit enables a shield throw that can ricochet. His shift is...
Okay, so the shield throw is automatic. It's kind of something you still have to aim for, right? Like, you could still swing like you're doing a melee attack, but it's kind of a melee and a ranged attack built into one. I think that's super interesting, counting on the fact that essentially if you just left click, you won't always get a projectile, but you'll get, you know, quick up close swipes. I do think that it will take a little bit of time for people to get used to. However, he is a 2-star difficulty Vanguard, so I don't think he's going to be that difficult to get used to. It's just going to have to be something that you're kind of like, I have to kind of have a combination of melee and ranged. So it's kind of like, I don't know. We'll have to get in game and see how good that feels, but it could feel a little bit wonky, I'm not gonna lie.
His leading dash boosts speed, enabling fearless leap. His E ability is Vibranium Energy Saw.
Okay, so I am going to talk about his leap. His leap's just really good movement, right? It gives him a speed boost, like I said, and then he also just gets that slight leap as well. So you know you have movement. You have movement with Captain America. It's not like you're going to be standard still. You're going to be able to rush in, get into combat really quickly. You're also going to be able to jump around, slapping and, you know, guarding and blocking your enemies. So that's pretty cool.
Hurl the energy charged shield to strike enemies in a path. His F ability is Liberty Rush.
Okay, so these are two, right? Which I'm gonna answer a little bit more about Liberty Rush in a second, but for real, I think the fact that you also, like, on the auto attack, it being, I think, your second attack where you throw the shield, and then you also have an ability that just straight up allows you to throw the shield, it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like his playstyle is going to be a little bit wonky. Like, it's not like it's gonna be something that you don't know or you don't, like, see, obviously. It's just, like, for a 2-star difficulty hero, I would have to say, like, his gameplay is going to be a little bit funky. I ain't gonna lie. It's going to be a little bit funky and something that a lot of Captain America players are going to have to get used to, but I don't think a lot of people will have too big of a problems with it. It's just kind of
Raise the shield and charge forward. In the air, Captain America can use...
Okay, so pretty much, like you said, it's just a charge move. You can use it to push enemies back, as well as to knock them up in the air. Very similar to the Winter Soldier's charge move, but, you know, he just has a shield now, so that's pretty cool. And then now he has... another ability that he gets in the air when you left click and you're in the air, which is the Super Soldier Slam.
Uses left click, Super Soldier Slam, to slam down from the sky onto the targeted area, knocking enemies airborne. His right click is Living Legend, raise the shield to deflect incoming projectiles, sending them ricocheting in random directions.
Okay. Now, normally, that would be the most busted move in the game, right? Is the fact that you could just reflect any projectiles. There's really nothing going on with it. From what I've seen as well, yeah, it does have a charge. You can see it up here at the top. It's 439. So it's not infinite. It's not like you infinitely get this shield, right? You don't infinitely get that shield. It does have a limit to what it could take, but the thing that doesn't make it extremely broken is the fact that it does reflect the projectiles randomly. If it instantly reflected it back at the opponent, I would think it would be the most busted. Now, it still does do that with some things. When you see the gameplay that I showcase in a little bit, you'll actually see him kind of just utilize the shield move against a Punisher ult, and it just destroys him because it literally just reflects the bullets right back at him. I don't know to what extent in which random directions it reflects things to. We would have to get in game and see the exact specifics to be able to see that, but I do have to say, this is one of the most broken moves in the game because you could just defend from really large things. And this can also reflect alts. Like, we had seen this in his reveal trailer as well, the fact that this reflected a Captain America alt. It will probably reflect, you know, a lot of alts. I'm assuming just like there's a bunch of alts that I'm assuming that it will be able to reflect just right back at the opponent, which is going to be interesting and, you know, kind of... I don't know. I am interested in what it can and can't reflect. Specifically, we'll be probably making a video about that when it, you know, he actually comes out. But yeah, reflect is going to be broken and is definitely going to be something you want to utilize when you're playing Captain America. Also, he did have his leap that we did question here beforehand. So yet again, very similar to Venom's F ability, but this is just on a left click. I don't think it's this one right here. I believe it's the next one because it's like the hero leap or whatever. Or no, this is still the... shield block, my bad. This is still the shield block. Yeah, Super Soldier Slam here. I believe
Under the targeted area, knocking enemies airborne. His right click is
yeah, so it said there. So it's very much kind of like Venom's F ability where it dives down and knocks it, but instead of knocking up, I believe, a bunch of targets, unless they're like grouped really close together, it's mostly used for single targets, and it's just kind of a basic ability that you get just by jumping instead of doing the normal shield throws. So like I said before, kind of a weird wonky kit. You're gonna have to definitely know how to play this character ahead of time. Even though he's a 2-star difficulty hero, I do feel like he does have a little bit of wonkiness to him. I don't know if 2-star difficulty is the proper rating for him. I'd probably give him more of a 3 or 4-star. Not really a 4-star, probably a 3-star. I think he's more of a 3-star hero because you have to know when to utilize specific moves to get the most out of this character. It's not really a character as easy as a character like Bucky, where you could just kind of hop in and instantly get their combo structure and how they're supposed to work. This character, obviously you're going to be wanting to jump around, dive, you know, utilize your projectiles when you can, you get the reflect up at the right time. Like, I do think he takes a little bit more skill than a character like the Winter Soldier. And, you know, I don't know if he's exactly starred correctly. But
Living Legend, raise the shield to deflect incoming projectiles, sending them ricocheting in random directions. Yeah, Captain America's ultimate ability is Freedom Charge. Shield held high, carve a path forward, granting both himself and allies along the path continuous bonus health and movement boosts. And his team up is with Thor. He gains a movement boost and his shield is imbued with thunder power, electrocuting nearby enemies.
Okay, so... his team up pretty standard. It's a Thor team up. You just kind of get electricity on your shield. I'm not going to talk too much about that. It's good. It's a very good ultimate, or not ultimate, but team up. You know what I'm saying? It just gives you more utility on the moves that are already pretty good and decent within the game, especially when it comes to throwing your shield and shocking enemies. So when it comes down to his ultimate, which is what we really want to talk about here, is a really good ultimate. It's very similar to Rocket's, except for the fact that instead of giving you just a straight up, from what I believe he just said, a straight up damage boost, it gives you a speed boost, as well as also the fact that I believe it gives you a small damage boost as well. Just go back here and quickly rewind just to make sure that he's
continuous bonus health and movement boosts. And his
so it's just the bonus health and the movement, so no damage. So it's very similar to Rocket's Raccoons, but you're going to want to play it when you're more on the offensive, right? When your team's kind of pushing for that final push and you really want to get in there, you pop it, right? You give your team the extra bonus health, you give them the speed boost so that you can get that push up that you really want, and you continue to sit in front and take the most damage because obviously you're the Vanguard with the shield that can literally reflect everything. So it allows you just kind of, as the description says, to carve a path for your abilities, for your teammates, per se, and it allows you to really just get in there, do a lot of damage, have that speed, have that health, and not have to worry about, you know, being able to take back damage. So a really solid, really awesome alt. You know, I can't wait to see more from it. And yeah, let's go ahead here and hop right on into some actual gameplay. Although he didn't stay with his team. His team's over here. This was instantly the wrong move because, you know, most of your team went over here. You're over here by yourself and you're the Vanguard. You're the tank. You're supposed to be in the front. You're supposed to be leading. You know, I think he does run back here and he does regroup with them, so that's good. But you guys can kind of see his abilities here. And, you know, kind of how he works. Now, I do want to say this movement ability that he gets, kind of just the super movement as well, is also really good because it allows him to stay ahead of his team, which you always want to be ahead of your team when you're playing this character as well. So that's really something you got to take note of. But one thing that's really big with this character is, yet again, just the amount of abilities that he has compared to like the average hero is insane. Look at this. There's just like so much going on, you know.
Like try not to run too far out in front of my teammates, because I am very, very fast.
Insanely fast, actually.
Get over here really fast. Project that back. Remember, just deflecting all those projectiles. Let's go ahead and push these guys.
Okay, I just want to go ahead here and say he deflected nothing right there if they see them. This is one thing you are going to have to be wary of when you play Captain America, is if you're just holding your shield up, people will not shoot. People are going to shoot at somebody who they see is down, who's open, who's wide. So what you have to really know when you're utilizing this character to the most, biggest potential is obviously keeping a look at that shield meter to make sure you still have the shield, but you also need to be dipping in between your left clicks and your right clicks. You need to not always just hold your shield up in front of the enemy, because your enemy is not going to be stupid. They are not going to just shoot into something that is going to damage them. You're going to need to be able to pace yourself and to kind of catch them off guard where they shoot and they shot already. So now you can right click and then you can just reflect it back, right? That's how you want to play this character. You do not want to just play this character by just let me hold right click until my shield breaks and then let me switch to my forward and then we hold right. That's not how you play this character. You have to dive in between attacking, shielding, attacking, shielding, movement, the jump up, the slam down, getting on the characters, getting on your opponents, utilizing that to your best potential, because if you don't, you will not be playing this character to max. Now, as you guys can see here, Captain America destroys strategists. Healers need to be behind their vanguards if they want to actually be useful. That Hulk should have been more in front. He should have been diving, but at the same time, I believe they only have one tank on their team right now. I may be wrong about that though.
And then just being really confused why it's getting deflected back at them.
Like boom, there, the charge
through that guy.
Now he does a lot of damage. He can easily beat out duelists and almost anything, and he destroys strategists. So I think the biggest counter to Captain America, and I'm gonna pause there just a little bit, just so we can say this, is going to be other Vanguards. I think when he comes down to a Vanguard v Vanguard match, especially when he's somebody like Venom, I think 9 times out of 10 he will lose. Because the other Vanguards are more specifically, they have more health or ways to get back health, like Venom has his E ability, right? So I think there's not really going to be much he could really do about that unless you are always coordinating with your strategist or your healers. So that is going to be something that's super, super, super important for Captain America.
Rivals. Wait! Go ahead and use our team up here. Jump.
And the Venom utilized his E way too early right there in that fight.
All right, team, good job. Where they're introduced. Oh, goodbye. Speaking of Venom, I definitely see parallels to Venom where this is obviously meant to be played as a frontline, as a tank, but lots and lots of offensive capabilities. And I like how they're introducing mobility in the form of just straight up speed rather than like dashes. Like it wouldn't, he does have a dash. I guess like kind of 2 dashes with the downward one. But
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Just straight up like sprint into or break out into a sprint.
Okay, now I want to say Hulk and Venom are the 2 tanks that their team is running. I do think Venom can win the 1v1 against Captain America as long as he doesn't have his teammates with him. If it's a pure 1v1, I think Venom wins every single time. I just don't think Captain America can specifically do anything. Now, Captain America may be able to run away from him because I do believe like Venom only gets 1 web swing while Captain America straight up just gets the straight up sprint. So the sprint's a little bit more broken, but I think overall Venom does win that matchup almost every single time. It's just when you coordinate with a team and you're Captain America, he's pretty much unstoppable. Like you will see him a lot during this little game, but it's like he really is. With you just coordinate with your team, he's really good.
So you can see the health bar of my shield there as well. Wow, this.
And you know, one thing I haven't really been focusing on as well, but I did see that there is the short amount of cooldowns that he has on his abilities as well. As you can see there, about 5 to 6 seconds each, right? You have about 6 seconds on, I believe, both your shield throw as well as also your shield dash. Slam down has an 8-second cooldown. You know what I'm saying? So this is a super, and I mean super low cooldown character. This is actually probably one of the characters in the best that actually has these the coolest slowdowns. Like he's no cooldowns whatsoever. You're just gonna be spamming abilities. Actually. Okay, and so I can go ahead here and say, and I do want to kind of look at the, he showed it for a second. So that's kind of, you know, helpful. Yeah, overall, I'd say really solid character, really solid pick. He's going to be amazing. He's going to be a minimum an A tier character or an S tier character. So yeah, definitely pick up Captain America when Marvel Rivals launches on December 6th. All right, guys. Hope you all really enjoyed the video, and hopefully I get to see you guys in the next battle. Peace.